Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Welcome back to Intermission. I'm your host, Jarvis Ziggy Newsome. You can find me on Instagram at Ziggy the Lionhearted. And always with me, the spectacular Howard Jerome.
Yo, what's up, everybody? You can find me at Howard_Jerome on Instagram and Howard Jerome on Facebook. Holy shit.
Yes. Well, be careful now, because I checked it out.
Yeah, is it loud?
Yeah, it's loud.
Dope. Oh, you fixing your phone?
Yeah, sucker.
Oh, man, dude. So we got a good show for you guys today.
If there, for some whatever reason, you did not know this, Infinity War dropped this past weekend.
Yep.
And my God, this was unlike anything Marvel has ever done. I don't think I've ever, well, this was a culmination, a 10-year project. And it's technically not even over yet.
That was the biggest thing for me, is that 10 years, 18 movies, and it didn't disappoint me at all.
Oh, man, like, I've seen it twice already.
DC's done. They just need to give up at this point.
You just got to, like, I know they were trying to do their own thing, but you can't deny the system that worked here. You can't. I mean, out of all 18 movies before Infinity War, I can honestly say only 3 you don't need to see for this movie. The other movies, 15 movies, you need to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of surprise twists that if you didn't see any of the original movies, or you're somebody who just saw, 1 or 2, you're not going to appreciate the gravity of some of these events. Yeah. I remember there were multiple times in the movie where I was like, holy shit.
You're right.
Yeah, like things just flying out of left field. Like, there's a lot of crazy adventures in this one.
All right. What's up, Juniors? Thanks for checking us out, man. Yo, Juniors, when do you get to check it out? When you go see Infinity War? Because, I mean, like I said, I just saw it again. Like, I saw it right before the show.
Yeah, I've only had the chance to see it one time, but I'm definitely going to go see it in a couple more times this week. I plan on seeing it about 3 or 4 times when it's all said and done.
Yeah, it's just, it was, oh, he saw it today. Okay, that's what's up.
Like, I mean, I walked out of the movie thinking, I don't really have any critiques.
It's hard. Like I said, there's one thing, but we won't tell in the Facebook portion. After Facebook, we're going completely spoiler.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to try and spoil anything right now, because there's still a lot of people who haven't gotten to see it. And
right. Because it was selling out.
Dude, so I definitely had the movie spoiled for me. I was so pissed by someone's Facebook. And I messaged them like, yo, you just ruined this for me. Why would you put this on here? It's fucking Friday. Like, the movie just came out yesterday. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, some people were so anxious to talk about it. It was so crazy. Like, I told you, I went 0 Dark 30.
Yeah.
I just said I had to stay off. I don't know, you probably can't because, your profession.
Yeah, I mean, I made the mistake of switching over to my personal account, so that was partly my fault. But even when I went to the restroom before the movie started, there was these 2 young, like 18-year-old kids in here talking about this movie.
Yeah.
Luckily for them, they just repeated the same stuff that had already spoiled for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? You see this long line of people, and you're going to talk about the Infinity Wars on Friday at 7 o'clock because that makes a whole lot of sense. Obviously, there's a bunch of people here who haven't seen this movie yet.
Right.
It's like when I went to go see the Force Awakens. There was 2 times people were trying to ruin that movie for us. Once on ESPN,
Yeah.
somebody was talking about some Kobe Bryant stats, and just in the middle of it, Han Solo dies, and then just kept on going. And then somebody in the bathroom was saying some shit, and I was just like, man, you guys, just no etiquette whatsoever. If I was meaner, I'd fight your ass in this stall.
Right.
Ruining my $20 movie.
Sup, and thanks for checking us out. Yes, Thanos was a beast, bro. We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
By far, Marvel's best villain to date.
I know you haven't seen it, but we gotta get you going to do the MCU because you wouldn't understand this movie as well if you haven't seen the movies. And we're gonna start that project all over again.
They did a really good job of balancing like the movie for people who are just casual moviegoers, and people who are like hardcore fans. Of course, they changed some facts around and changed some of the stories around. Like some of the stuff about Thanos in the comic books didn't get as much play on here, but it was all around. It was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. And it's some stuff you have to sacrifice. Like I tell anyone, if you can get a movie from a story and adapt at least 70% of it, I think you're doing a good job, or at least get the feeling of it.
They took just enough to where it still holds true, but not to where you could predict what was going to happen. Like that's the good thing. Like, and they did a really good job of right when you thought something was going to happen, not letting it happen, and then catching you off guard with it. It was pretty good. I mean, they had drama, they had action, they had some humor in there, which finally they didn't overdo it with the humor. It was great.
It was a perfect balance. I mean, you know, you can't really talk bad about this movie. And speaking of which, we know this now because one, biggest domestic opening ever, biggest worldwide opening ever.
Totally go see it in 3D.
Yeah, easily.
You got to go see it in 3D. I mean, they had stuff flying at you. Some of the effects they threw in there for. I'm not gonna give you too many details, but when Thanos would use the Reality Stone, it looked so good in 3D. It was great.
But the Power Stone too. Yeah. That one scene. Well, you see it in the trailer where he's grabbing.
Yeah.
No, to see that in 3D, that was pretty dope.
Yeah. That shit was wild.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that scene. Yeah, man, that shit looks terrifying.
Let me know when you go see it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna go like Wednesday and then go again Friday.
Yeah,
but
I might go Friday.
Cause that shit, man. Thanos, like, it's crazy because you've got this character who's supposed to be the villain, but he lays out his plan so logically that you kind of see where he's coming from, and
not
you
just
kinda,
that,
you kind of yourself like.
You understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the cool thing about Thanos. I mean.
And Josh Brolin, he definitely killed that role. I mean.
Easily.
He sells it to you so well, so where you start feeling like, man, this really is painful for you as well. This is tough on you, too.
There's some part, there's parts you actually sympathize for Thanos. Mm-hmm. This guy who wants to kill half the universe.
Yeah. You've got a 50% chance of dying if this guy succeeds, and you're like, man, I get it though. That's a huge feat to pull off.
It really is. But
I mean, dude, I'm just thinking about it now. I mean, we've got some critiques that
they were saved before after the Facebook Live portion. Like
there's definitely spoilers involved.
Yeah, this is spoiler free. The moment this ends, so if you're not checking Facebook Live and you're just listening to us. The moment you hear us stop with the Facebook Live, we will actually go into a full spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it, that's going to probably be the point where you want to cut out.
The thing about this movie that I keep seeing, I know you talked about it too, is that people keep trying to compare it to other Marvel movies. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to tell you right now, this movie is in a completely different class of movie compared to all the other ones. Like my favorite Marvel movie I've never hidden is definitely Winter Soldier, and I think Winter Soldier is definitely like a tier below this movie.
Yeah,
it's incredible. I mean, it's ruined all other movies. Period for me right now because all I can think about is how I want to see Part 2.
Right.
They did a very good job.
What's up, Evan? What's up, Earlene? Thanks for joining us right now. I know Earlene was hyped about it. I mean, I was seeing her post about it. Like, I'll never forget the first time I saw it. Was I sat in the car after the movie, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning because I had to catch the 10:30 showing, so it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I had to sit there and like, shit, I can't believe it's rare you wait so long and have such high expectations, and it's actually met and exceeded.
I also want to say that all our predictions were completely fucking wrong.
All of them.
All of them were wrong.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
They're like, especially
He's in this too?
when we were talking about like where the stone was.
Yeah.
Nowhere near right.
Nowhere.
Not even close. All the fan theories I saw, completely wrong. Everything that everybody said on the internet, not even close.
So great job with the secrecy of this movie.
Hell yeah, they. And then there's they definitely had a lot of red herrings out there, like telling you people who were going to be in it. And not, like I know for a while it was rumored like Luke Cage was going to be in it and that kind of shit. No. Well, shit, maybe part 4. Maybe we'll see.
Maybe so.
But
yeah,
that shit was incredible.
It's crazy though. This has made in one weekend worldwide $650 million, and that's not including China. It has not been released in China yet.
That's really wild.
I'm thinking about after next weekend, it may go ahead and break $1 billion.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, I know of people who've already gone to see this movie. It's been out for a few days. Who by Sunday had already seen it 3 times.
Right.
Which I don't know how they got that many tickets. That's incredible. That's a feat right there.
Yeah, because I know that opening night, that Thursday night, I was trying to catch the 7 o'clock showing, or 8 o'clock showing, or 9 o'clock showing. The closest one I can get that had a decent seat was 10:30.
Yeah, see, I bought my tickets about a month ago, so we were smack dab in the middle on those recliner seats.
Yeah.
But when I say every movie theater at that spot had just only Infinity Wars playing, like anybody you walk by, you know they were talking about Infinity. It's either they thought was going to happen into it, or people walking out saw them, like just, goddamn.
Yeah.
It was emotional.
You know someone just seeing Infinity War by the look on their face.
It also makes you get respect for like some of these other Avengers on there, like fucking Black Widow goes hard, dog.
She does.
She is raw, man.
She went a lot harder in this movie than pretty much any other movie she was in.
Captain America by far has like the best entrance into the movie too. Oh, that shit is flawless,
that
dog.
That is dope. That was dope.
Yeah, man. I know a lot of people think Captain America is kind of like Wonder Bread, like kind of overrated. Yo, he's badass.
Because there's a scene that we're gonna talk about after Facebook Live that I absolutely loved, and it was such a simple thing, but when you saw it, you got hype.
Yeah, dude. Even Bucky, like his shit was fucking cool too.
Yeah.
Like, can I get that gun?
No.
Nah.
You'll understand when we see it.
Yeah.
But
it was well done.
It was well done. But before we keep going, that this portion of the show is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. Do you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services. Who knows? Maybe they can pull a Thanos and cut your bills in half.
Good one.
I know. I was waiting. I was like,
I
gotta think of it. Oh man, just the execution of Marvel.
Who do you think?
And Kevin Feige.
I can't even say that now. That'll tear some spoilers. Go.
Yeah. Kevin Feige says we have movies planned to 2025 right now. And he's like, and quite a few of those are new characters.
I mean, they would have to be because
we lose Thor, Cap. Iron Man hasn't made another movie yet, but Thor and Cap we lose.
And I think that's a very good strategy of them to get rid. They have like different eras of superheroes now. Like you've got these characters, and then we're going to open up and have a whole new set of. It's not going to get old for us now,
right?
Like,
and who knows? They may come back for a cameo in a movie or something like that, which I can see. But they're not under contract after Avengers 4. Like Chris Hemsworth and Chris Evans both are no longer under contract. And, I think Robert Downey's is up.
I mean, that's smart. and I know we still got part 2 for Avengers, but if it's anything like what this was, they definitely going out on top.
All right. Oh, I do have some news that's non-Infinity War related. HBO has says that each episode of Game of Thrones will be 2 hours.
More good news.
So basically, you get a movie. Like we was complaining, oh, it's only 6 episodes. It's basically 12.
Yeah. I'm trying to. So that's actually more screen time than what
each season was.
Yeah, because I mean, each season's like 10 hours long,
right.
So this is 16 hours. That's
and I know the one big battle that they talk about took 55 days to film.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so
I saw that letter that they had wrote about.
I was like,
going through all the cold and ice and all that shit.
That's how like yes,
man. I still don't know. Like, I might have a heart attack next year. Game of Thrones and Infinity Wars Part 2.
Or whatever it is. Because they said they're not going to release the title.
Yeah.
Which they probably will, like, around Christmas.
For Infinity Wars?
Or for whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Avengers 4.
Godly.
And you know Marvel's real good. They just drop it. They don't even announce, oh, trailer's dropping this time. It'll be a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with Civil War. It was a Tuesday night. And I think Chris Evans was on Jimmy Kimmel. And he's like, so when do we get to see the trailer? Chris Evans says, how about now? And they aired it right there. And then it dropped on YouTube. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Konnichiwa, Clinton. Thanks for checking in. Infinity War playing over there yet, Clinton?
Oh, he's in Japan, right?
Yeah. I know it's not opening in China yet, but I know Clinton's in Japan. So
yeah, shout out to my boy Manuel who's on here right now too.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yo, so yeah, Clinton, if they haven't released it for y'all, just make sure you're in line early, dog. It's good.
Yeah, and also like I said, don't listen to the full episode because after the Facebook Live portion, man, it's gonna be spoilers.
Which looks like it's about that time.
Yeah, I think it is. Look, we're finna go ahead and get into this. You know, those of you who have watched it, Ingram, Erlene, Clinton, when you check it out, definitely. Who else we got checking in on us?
Feel free to send us some DMs with any kind of critiques y'all had for the movies.
Right. But those of you, we ask that you subscribe to our show on all major platforms. iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. If you're on iTunes, make sure you give us a review. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell us what you think about Infinity Wars. I can't really understand if you say anything bad. Like, I can take it if you said this movie was a 9. If you said it's an 8, I'm looking at you sideways. Dead serious. Like I said, there's only a reason it's not a 10 for me, but you got to listen to the whole episode in order to hear that reason, because I'm going to probably open up with that. And those of you on... Oh, so Clinton hasn't seen it yet. He says he's about to log out now. Good look, man. If you check on this, checking out this Facebook Live post, share it on your page. Give us some feedback. Share with your family and friends. Let's have this Infinity War discussion. And also, we ask that you donate. This is a movie, like, honestly, we knew it wouldn't really work for us to try to take you to go and see it, because you pretty much had to see it within the first week. And we rarely see movies on the first opening week, except I think we did it like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got to be a smaller movie. Like, I'm honestly thinking maybe MI6, it might be Jurassic World, or maybe even Solo. We know we got a few Star Wars people with us. So it might be Solo. And there's still a whole bunch of movies out there. We got Ant-Man and Wasp this summer. So it's a lot of stuff still around. So donate. You can go to www.thesphere.tv/donate. You can do a single donation there. Or if you want to go on a monthly subscription for a donation, you can just press donate on Patreon. And that'll help us, like I said, pay for tickets. Sometimes we pay for popcorn. Sometimes we pay for, liquid refreshments, because we're all adults here, mostly. And it helps us out. So make sure you check out that link and, donate if you can. And we're going to get into spoiling this movie because it's just way too much to talk about. If you haven't seen it, stop listening right now. Go see it. Thanks for checking us out. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for those of you who are still listening or checking us out, checking out the video because you can watch us. I give this movie a 9.75. It's two things. Howard brought up one, but the main thing I noticed is in the end, when Thanos goes through his plan, you notice that not a single one of the original Avengers are removed.
Yeah, if you guys think back to some of our earlier episodes where we were talking about this, we definitely thought Captain America was going to die. I know that was a huge rumor, too, that he was going to be dead.
It was either him or Iron Man.
Yeah, and you would think that they would try and kill off one of these guys.
Right. Just to show the impact of this. But it was all secondary Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, the Spider-Man death, that was painful.
That was a little hard. It's like your little brother.
He was crying and
like, I don't feel so good. I'm like, oh no, not Pete.
Yeah.
I'm like, get rid of Tony, not Pete.
But I really was hoping for that, and then but the way Thanos even like it's just crazy. Like you got Thor who shows up and you think for a split second. And he stopped him. And
they're about to do it.
And he just looks at him and says, should have went for the head. Boom. And but the way they did it was so good. Like, it wasn't like some huge explosion or some like just really, really festive thing or anything like that. It was so haphazard. People just decided to fade away.
Like ashes and wind.
Yeah. And one of the things that really was cool how they did it was that Thanos talked about that on his planet, or on Titan, when he proposed this idea that they have a lottery, basically, and randomly killed half the population because he saw there was all the resources were in jeopardy of being overused. They said no, he thought it was crazy, and so he finally got to enact his plan because he was right then, and he killed off everybody haphazardly. There was no picking. It was just
right.
I
think that's the reason why I was disappointed that not a single one of the original Avengers.
Yeah, because statistics would say that at least one of them would have been killed.
Yeah.
There's no way all the original Avengers would have saved.
I think that was one of those Disney decisions right there.
Yeah. They had a bank on, hey.
Yeah. Which, honestly, you could have got rid of Mark Ruffalo. You could have got rid of Bruce Banner.
So, Jada actually pointed out, said something to me, and that was kind of something I didn't think about. The Hulk, he can't die from this, could he? Because isn't that one of the things is that it's almost impossible to kill the Hulk?
If you wipe them from existence.
But are they being wiped from existence, or are they just being killed?
Oh, they're being wiped from existence.
Are you sure though? Like they're just not killed? Because here's the thing: if they were being wiped from existence, that would mean that nobody would remember them. These people still remember them though.
Having I'm saying wiped. No longer allowed to exist, put it like that. Not just killed, but this is more on a bigger scale. Kill would be too simple of a word. This is like matters. The matter that you occupy is no longer there. That's what I really think it is. That's how he's able to do it. He's just removing the matter of half of the beings. And I think Hulk can do that. Like, there's in one comic book where we all know how this is going to go. Like, eventually Avengers find a way. They beat him or whatever. That's going to probably happen somewhere. But in one comic book, they never find a way, and he actually wins. He keeps the Hulk as his pet, and he makes the Hulk eat the other Avengers.
That's wild. What's really funny is that he beat him to where the Hulk didn't even want to show up anymore.
Right.
Thanos kicked his ass. Like, it was so thorough. Like, he hit him. They like, no, just let him have his fun. And I'm talking about cause they're about the same size.
Right.
But Thanos was just
so
jabs.
It
was crazy. Like, you really saw the Hulk get thrown around, and he was scared the whole movie. He did not show up.
Come on, Hulk. No.
That shit was wild.
I was like, you just punked the Hulk.
Mm-hmm. What was really funny, too, is that interaction between Thor and Star-Lord. When they were on the ship. calling him an angel pirate.
Like just the whole Guardians when Thor first shows up. There was like, and what Gamora, his muscles are like still. Can you stop massaging his muscles?
Yeah, what's his name? Drax was like, that's a man. Like that shit was fucking funny.
You're a dude.
Yeah,
That's a man.
Oh, he's like a pirate angel.
A pirate and an angel had a kid, and this is it.
Yeah, that shit was wild. Like that, it was funny because all the funny shit definitely happened with like Guardians of the Galaxy. So you got to see a good balance between like dramatic love scenes and goofy antics. It was good. It was real good.
It was good. Although the whole Pete, Strange, and Iron Man was pretty though. Maybe not as funny. It was more like, fuck you.
Oh yeah, the whole thing between Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So who do you think out of each one of those like little sets, which storyline was the best one in that movie?
That asks me like to pick a favorite kid because I mean
everyone's got a favorite.
That's why I don't have kids. But it was just everything was so well done to the point. The one I could probably say I didn't care for. I've never really cared for Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know she's one of the most powerful, but she's also mentally one of the weakest.
So the thing that I have with them is they don't really show like their whole thing is always so sappy.
Yeah.
Like the fight scene was okay, and then especially like when she was in Wakanda, like that shit was fucking dope.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't show her off enough. I think.
Maybe that's what it is. But also, luckily, their sappy scene led to the fight with the Black Order, which gave us the best intro in the entire movie.
Yeah.
When Cap caught that spear in the shadows.
Oh, yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, like, he literally just like, first off, for these humans to be able to kick the ass of these alien conquerors, like, that shit was wild. It just, like,
right.
It's like Lil Dicky said, man, Earth go hard. Like, when these aliens show up, we're just going to get ran over. They're like, nah, man, Earth go hard. So that shit was great because, and Black Widow, like, she was one of the breakout characters for me in this, like, with her fighting because she has no powers. She got no power. She has limited tech. And she holds her own against everybody she goes up against. Well, the thing is,
it's rumored that she may have had one of the original versions of the serum. Cause she's
I can believe it.
Because she's about as old as Steve Rogers. That's why she hasn't aged. But that's why she knows so much as a spy.
I mean, if you go back and watch some of the shit that she does.
I think she gets it after Bucky. Mm-hmm. Like from the Russia side, she gets it after Bucky.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. It would explain a whole lot.
So I think that's the sort of underlying thing. That's her.
Yeah, because some of the shit, man, like she's super powered, like for sure. Like everyone has superpowers, but some of the shit that she was able
her
to pull
agility off, and her,
it's crazy.
Her reflexes, I think, was
the kinds of assault that she can take.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. I did too like that they didn't rely too much on like power. It was like they had to strategize and everything. That was pretty cool.
Now, one of my favorite cat scenes though, when they open the barrier and everyone starts running, and you see Captain America and Black Panther just run ahead of everybody.
Okay, so that was funny because I was sitting there looking at the trailer. I was like, yo, why the fuck? Oh, okay, never mind. I was like, why could they keep up with Captain America and Black Panther when we know they can run at least 50 miles an hour? And all of a sudden they're like, all right, cool, let's hit the jets. Boom. They were gone. I was like, oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, and then...
let's beat these bitches.
Bro, their end credit scene... Now, this is the first time we see an end credit scene from the movie that actually continues the movie. And that shit was wild because they show Nick Fury being killed, which was insane. Now... They also dropped the Easter egg.
Well, Thor Ragnarok continued it. One of the end credits. The ship gets they run to Thanos' ship.
Oh, true. Good point. So then actually they kept the formula because now they're introducing the next part of the movie, which is showing Captain Marvel off, which is going to be fucking dope.
Right. I just wonder who else we see because, like Fahey says, she's not the only one you haven't seen.
So my thing is this though. I don't know much about Captain Marvel besides that she has like some Kree blood in her and all that shit.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot about her?
I don't think it's energy blast, but I know she's basically invulnerable. She's basically almost a female Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that that's how Rogue got her powers. she touched Captain Marvel, and she absorbed the powers, and it stayed with her.
Oh, it's like the rogue from like the comic, the
From
cartoon.
X-Men, yeah. So the flight, the strength, the speed, she got all that from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, because that's gonna be. I mean, right before he died, he paged her. So that's
One,
interesting.
a pager. But I do know Captain Marvel takes place, I think, late 80s, early 90s.
So then, what's the pager gonna do though? Unless it goes back in time.
Maybe she is. Well, one, that pager looks like sort of.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking shield technology. Like, so that stuff is.
It looked decked out or something. I was like, I ain't never had no pager look like that.
It looked more like one of those sidekicks, like a Palm Pilot or something.
I had the 900. That looks like the 99,000.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So that shit was pretty good. But this we got to go ahead and shout out the Sphere before we continue with this. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at The Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. DC should hit us up so that way we can help get them some fans because they're going to need all the help they can get after this kind of showing.
I actually got ideas that can help DC, and they can actually keep this whole dark thing. But you got to stop focusing on the same people. You got way too many characters in DC that don't get no shine. Yeah. And Marvel's taking risks. These, like, before these movies came out, we got to realize these was like sort of the B squad.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy, like no one.
That's not even B squad.
Yeah,
for real. Because we all knew Spider-Man was one of their number one guys. They didn't have the rights to him. Wolverine was the number one guy. They didn't have the rights to him. X-Men was the most famous team, not the Avengers. Didn't have the rights to them. Hey, and what? Universal still got the rights to Hulk now.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
I really want them to do like a redo a Hulk movie though.
I do too, but Universal ain't letting that one go.
No. So wait, so is Universal getting part of the money that comes from these?
I forgot how it breaks down. Marvel can use the Hulk as long as he's not featured in his own movie.
Interesting. So they should just have a whole movie called Iron Man, but just be the Hulk. Be about the Hulk.
Well, I think the whole thing is like he has to have less screen time.
Yeah.
Than someone else, and he can't be defined as main character.
That makes sense because he has, like I've noticed that before, that he has substantially less time than everyone else.
Right.
Like it's like obvious.
Right.
Damn, that's crazy. So what do you think is going to happen in this part 4? Or part 2? Oh, Avengers 4.
Avengers 4. I'm still waiting on them to even announce the name. Is it Avengers Disassemble? Is it Ultimate Avengers? I mean, I just want to see the name. That from there I can guess, but it's the same team that did, Infinity War. I have no idea, and I'm not even going to try to figure this shit out.
I know we talked about what we think that how the Reality Stone is going to play a huge part in this, and I think
now that I've seen it, I think time may even take more than reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because after seeing how he brought back Vision, and then the one picture, like I said, I hate sometimes seeing stuff, but it's the online stuff. You can't help it. Someone leaked a set photo from Avengers 4.
Mm-hmm.
Cap's in his old suit from the first Avengers movie.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
Especially because he was so against it.
Right. And it looks like I think Ruffalo actually had his hair long. It looked like he had the same clothes he had on in the first Avengers.
So they may be going back in time.
Because I think that was the Avengers' first actual dealings with anything Thanos.
Speaking of, that's badass that Thanos knows who Tony Stark is.
Man.
That was incredible. Stark. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you're not the only one burdened by knowledge. or cursed by knowledge. One of them shits. That shit was wild. Like, but then Tony Stark also said something they kind of played down was that he's had Thanos in his head now for like the last 7 years or so, like ever since that happened in the first Avengers. So I wonder if it's like how Voldemort and Harry Potter were able to see inside each other's heads. Dude, that might play out because that seems like something that they shouldn't have just mentioned just because. Like I feel like that's going to be something that gets played out in the next movie. I mean,
I can see the Mind Stone having something to do with it.
Because what else would they? And it was like it. And now that I said out loud, it just seems like it was too innocuous for something to be said like that. Because in all the other movies, we don't really hear him mention much about Thanos.
Well, but he's always sort of after that first attack. His motivation was everything was from that attack.
Yeah, but this is the first time we say that he's still in his head, and then for Thanos to acknowledge him when he sees him.
Yeah.
That I feel like there's something that's gonna play into the next movie. If not, then I don't understand why they put such emphasis on that. But that was very emphasized.
I think they could go either way. I think they may just say like he's been in his head because ever since their first attack, it's all that Tony's been thinking about.
But I'm talking about the recognition that Thanos also showed him. That's why I said I think it's a little bit more than that because for Tony Stark to witness that for sure. But for Thanos, the person who's conquering the universe and doing all this, for him to recognize an individual, and if you notice, like, he only recognized individuals who he had, like, some kind of connection with, like with Gamora. Like, when he picked her out of the whole crowd, he kept her. Same thing, like, but you don't see him recognize anyone else by their names or anything like that, or even acknowledge anything. Like, he acknowledges them as individuals. It's more of, like, I'm doing you a favor by killing you. But Stark, he was like, I respect you, and like, that was wild.
Stark was the only one that went through the portal.
I know.
So I think maybe that with that portal, he knows who's going through and who's not coming through, and to have Stark coming through, he's like, wait, who's this motherfucker?
Yeah, but then he kept up with him though.
I guess if you come into you stepped in my house for the first time, like, anytime I see someone, or even get a weird, wait, okay.
Yeah, but and
then plus you had 2 stones there already, so he's probably still watching Earth.
Yeah, but even take that though, because you got Vision who has a stone in his head. He didn't keep up with him, not like to the fact where he'd be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go after this one myself. And they fought each other.
Well, initially he sent the Black Order to get the stones
for sure,
both of them.
But I'm still like he never once mentioned anyone else's name besides Gamora. Never, even the people in the Black Order. He never calls them by their name.
True.
And there's a huge thing where it's like it's Thanos, and then he's like a cult leader. But how they talk about him.
Yeah, I think the simple fact, like I said, Stark was taking the most risk when confronting Thanos, even the first time.
Yeah.
So I think that, Thanos even says, I respect you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think starting from that first time when he took that missile up there to the point where he damn near died.
Yeah.
After that was Thanos probably said, I have to pay attention to this one.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Because like this one could be one that fucks up my shit.
Yeah.
That could be it. But
I guess we'll see.
Next year. We ain't got to wait 2 or 3 years.
And it just pisses me off even more now that Captain America didn't die.
It would have been so. It would have made that movie so much more. And to me, that's a Disney decision.
Yeah, I didn't even care that Black Panther was killed. Like, whatever.
I mean, I had a little attachment, but I'm sorry. I followed the rest of these guys for years.
Yeah, he only has one movie.
Well,
the other one's got 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 or like.
Well, I mean, standalone movies.
Standalone.
He's in other movies, but if we count those, then other people got like 6 movies.
But he can say every movie I've appeared in has reached $1 billion because this will reach it.
Yeah, for sure. It'll reach it by, let's say, like Wednesday. Once it showcases in China, I mean, that movie's done. It's done. Crushed it.
Right.
So what's the highest grossing movie? I know we've talked about it on here, but I can't remember what the total is.
Well, in the MCU?
Or just period?
Force Awakens, I think.
With how much? Is it like 1.4 or something?
Worldwide or domestic? I know Black Panther is domestic now. It's the highest grossing movie, I think, domestically.
Oh, so the highest grossing movie adjusted for inflation, period, is Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
3.4 billion.
That's suggested for, okay.
Yeah, but that's incredible.
Box Office Mojo, it says Avatar was the highest grossing. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is actually number 3.
But those aren't adjusting for inflation because these movies are taken out like from years ago. And this is only 2014, but these are worldwide gross, so.
Yeah. I don't know. But
So what do you think is going to end up total amount?
I'm gonna say 1.6.
That's about what I was going to say.
It's gonna knock everyone else down.
Oh, for sure. That's just a crazy amount of money.
Because, like I said, we're seeing it 2 and 3 times. When China does it and adds 2 or 3 times, like I said, I'm not gonna be surprised if it reaches $1 billion after this coming weekend.
Yeah, because it's at like 245 million or something like that.
Well, domestically, worldwide it's 650.
Oh yeah, it's going to hit $1 billion before the end of the week.
I don't know if it hit $1 billion domestically, but worldwide, yeah, that's.
I'm looking to see what's at right now. Yeah, yesterday it was at 630 worldwide.
I think today
8 hours ago it was at 641.
Yeah. So probably by now it's probably at 650.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's so much money.
Man, and it's well deserved. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I think they did a great job. But we gotta get paid again.
Yes.
You know, out these numbers.
Yeah.
This portion of the show is sponsored by KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Unleash Your Dopeness is a people empowerment movement built to encourage the masses to operate outside of their fears and have the gall to recklessly pursue their dreams and passions in life. Join thousands of others as we unlock the greatness that dwells inside. Shop dope gear at KOGpassion.com. That's KOGpassion.com. And use coupon code DOPE for 10% off exclusive Unleash Your Dopeness apparel. Act now, sizes are selling out fast.
Check it out. All right, before we close out, we're going to go. It's a lot of characters, but we're going to give just our short thought on each character. But I'll name one, you name them one,
Cool.
and we'll just go from there. We got to pull out the list.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll start off with the originals. I think Iron Man was very essential to this movie. There's no denying that. It just and like I said, he didn't even get to interact with all the other Avengers. That was the crazy thing. All right. Now you take Cap.
Well,
What you got to say about that?
I don't got shit about Cap. For me, it's Thor.
All right, you go.
Thor for me. Here's the thing I liked about it. All right, so if you look at anything with Thor from his first movie until now, he's had a huge evolution.
Yes.
For taking himself too seriously to dealing with his place in the universe, from being an Asgardian and figuring out how he needs to, like where his place is in the world. And we've seen him evolve. And I would have liked to see a little bit more screen time with him on this one. We didn't get that much because he was off-world trying to get his acts and everything created.
Right.
But I think for me, the biggest seeing was him actually just saying, you know what? I'm going to do, when he was trying to start the Forge again,
Yeah.
I think that was showing us, like,
Just how powerful.
at this point, either I'm going to take whatever I need to, or it's going to kill me. Because at this point, I've lost everything. I've lost my mom, my
Right.
dad, my planet, my brother, all this shit.
Well, let me go ahead.
That
and
shit
get
was fucking wild.
with Cap, easily the best entrance of the movie. Cap is, I know it's fictional, but if there was a real life Cap, it's easy to see how people can rally behind Captain America or Steve Rogers, because he's not Captain America really in this movie. He's Steve Rogers, and you understand that when you see his uniform. So
I think the biggest fuck up in the movie would who do we have left in the Avengers now? It's
Hulk.
Hulk. Hulk really didn't do much this movie. Like he got his ass kicked in the first scene, and then that was it. Like I don't know why Heimdall decided to save him.
Right.
He should have saved Thor or Loki, which I think would have been a better use of time. But
all right, who we got left? Who I want to talk about next? Spider-Man. Probably the hardest death, or one of the hardest deaths of the movie.
oh yeah, for sure.
Like that one is like, it's like watching your little brother. So, but I enjoyed the Iron Spider suit. That was dope.
I hate that we didn't get to see Ant-Man in this. Which
True.
would be interesting because he's definitely credited in the movie.
Yeah, they
Which
talk
is
about
crazy. So, we're skipping Doctor Strange though.
Oh, you take Strange.
So, this was an interesting one for me because I got like a love-hate with Doctor Strange in his movie, but here we got to really see this mentality of like we've seen Stephen Strange, like his whole character evolve from being super selfish to now it's about the greater good, and then to see him at the last minute choose Iron Man over the Stone.
Well,
I was like, that's crazy that they put that flaw into him. And it was very good and complex for
But
for
who
the
knows?
movie.
But who knows? Like I say, he may have seen what happens afterwards.
Well, so I thought about that too because one scene they show that he saw all the millions of possibilities. So it might have been that was what was supposed to happen.
Right?
He didn't die though, did he?
Yeah,
He did.
He did? Okay.
Star-Lord, douchebag. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. This movie actually made me not like him.
Exactly.
He fucked up so many times. He was the cause of this. Like
Although
everybody else played
his
a role
plan
in
was
it.
working, but he's the one who broke his plan.
Yeah. He had a great plan, but just no follow through.
All right.
He's the reason why this should happen. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Thanos, dog.
Go ahead.
Thanos for me Thanos is my favorite character, and it's not because of anything with like, oh, he's super powerful and all this. It was like, it literally is that you've got somebody who is so hell-bent because in his mind he's actually doing something for the greater good.
Right.
And we see that at the end of it when he said, all I want to do is once this is done is go and sit down and watch the sunset.
On the universe that's grateful.
Yeah, and that's what he went and did because like he told these people that this is what was going to happen on his planet, and they didn't do what he said, and the planet died.
Right.
And then he's like, you know what? I'm not going to let the universe. You guys, you may hate me, but I'm going to do exactly what needs to be done, and the people that are left behind, y'all will be grateful that you were here.
All right. I'm gonna go do a rapid fire of a few real quick.
Well, before you do that, real quick, so what I would like to see them do is actually show Gamora's planet at one point, because he said they were flourishing and thriving after he came and did this. That'd be interesting to see.
To actually see how his plan works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because like you said earlier, I don't think he will lie about something.
Yeah, he doesn't come off as someone who he's too powerful to lie. He's
Hey,
like,
just like he went to the collector and he was like, "You a lie," and collector was like, "Well, why would I lie?" Well, that's like breathing to you.
yeah, yeah.
Like- all right, Guardians, great complimentary. Rocket, Groot with Thor was awesome, but also when they find Thor, that was just pretty dope.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch, I don't like I said, they make that storyline so sappy. It maybe almost dragged a little too long. Like, and she's always like, "Stay, no go, stay, no go." Bitch, choose one.
Luckily, they cut it off right to the point where it was about to be annoying.
Yeah.
Like, they did a very good job of... They probably sitting there like, this is running too long. And enter bad guys.
Vision was pretty cool.
I actually was underwhelmed by Vision this time. I expected to see more.
Well, I mean, he's being constantly attacked.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where it's not much he can do.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone's the most vulnerable at all of this, it was Vision.
You would just think, though, with somebody that has an Infinity Stone lodged into their head, they would be able to do more. Like, I feel like the dude who he was fighting from the Black Order,
Yeah.
I feel like he should have been able to take him a lot better. You know, even though he did get stabbed.
Right. Well, not only that, remember, the old boy would put the spear right behind the stone.
Yeah.
So that's almost like disconnecting it. So I can see why that causes some problems for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice ever since he got stabbed, he was never the same.
Yeah, he was screwed up today. He was like phasing in and out
Right.
from.
So that was crazy. Black Panther, he didn't have too much. He fought like a motherfucker, though. I will say that.
I like that they had M'Baku come back in there.
Yeah, M'Baku.
That shit, man. I hope he gets more screen time in the next movie.
He lived.
Yeah.
M'Baku lived. So.
Which,
He might become the next Black Panther.
I was thinking that too. But he can't be a Black Panther because his people are about gorillas, dog.
Right.
You need to watch the
Well,
movie
actually, in
more
the comic
carefully.
books, at one point, Shuri becomes a Black Panther.
That'd be cool. M'Baku was fucking dope, though.
Yeah.
I wish I could have saw Korg. I wish they would have had Korg in this movie.
Well, I think, like I said, they saved half of Thor's ship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the other half got to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking Valkyrie, Korg.
Wait, no. Remember, he just blew that bitch up.
Right. But remember, Thor was saying he killed half my people.
Mm.
So I think half got to leave.
Hopefully, Korg got to leave.
Yeah, because I think, Valkyrie's storyline was actually pretty dope as well. And
Yeah.
but, he decimated. The one, though, he didn't do half of Sandar.
Mm-hmm.
He destroyed Sandar.
Yeah.
Which gets me sort of hyped because the Nova Corps. That was the whole thing with the hero Nova.
Mm-hmm.
Was all the Nova Corps put into one essence, and he had to control it. The one guy had to control it, which means he was that fucking powerful.
Yeah. So what's the deal with? I don't really know much about the Nova Corps besides they're just police officers on Xandar.
The way the movie has it, they're very depowered. In comic books, Nova Corps is Nova himself went toe to toe with Silver Surfer.
Mm-hmm.
He can fight Galactus if he really wanted to. That's how badass Nova is. But the guy who gets the power, Richard Rider. There's a new one now in Marvel, but I think they got rid of that one. So I think they went back to Richard Rider. He never wanted the power. It bothers him, to the point, sometimes when, these conflicts happen, he says, fuck this, and he just goes off into space.
That's legit.
Because he does not want to he doesn't want that responsibility, and he never wants it.
What's his name? Nova?
Yeah. Look up Richard Rider Nova, because it's another one. It's a kid now. But I'm really hoping we see it. And I know that's one of Kevin Feige's favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Feige says his favorite characters he hasn't even seen on screen yet. Nova's one of them. He likes Moon Knight. He wants to see Moon Knight Netflix, but that's two totally different. Yeah, that's Nova. That's a picture of him right there. Nova's...
Yeah, he looks pretty fucking badass.
That's one of the guys that can beat Captain Marvel hand to hand. So, but that's going to do it for our show, people. I hope you enjoyed it. There's just so much to talk about. And this is one of those things that we may meet up for a happy hour to talk about this movie sometime within the next weekend or so. Just sit down and talk, because it's just that dope of a movie. So,
yeah, this movie was definitely incredible.
Yeah.
There's no ways around it. It was an incredible movie.
So, thanks for checking us out. Next week, we'll have a bit more content to discuss. Week after that, we'll probably be talking about Deadpool. So, just to let you know.
God, I can't wait till that movie comes out. That's gonna be great.
Right. So, then content after that, then Solo.
Yeah, May's gonna be a good month. Real
Yeah.
good month.
May and June. But I also probably by the next show, because I think it's supposed to drop this week, the trailer for Aquaman. So we'll see.
I'm curious to see how
If
they
they
do
got
that
it,
one.
we'll have it. But thanks for checking us out. We'll see y'all next week.